What happens to love? Where does it go? So many marriages end in divorce. So why do relationships fall apart? Tonight we're going to investigate with the help of a courageous couple who asked us for help and allowed us to put tiny cameras in their home to record what outsiders rarely see. Then we brought in an expert to try to save their marriage. Maybe what he teaches them could be a family fix for you. 16 years ago, when Marlene and Nelson got married, they were certain it would be happily ever after. But now they say they're miserable and fighting.
Can you just please do it for me?
For God's sake, he wanted to talk to you.
I know. Okay, can you just please do this with him? I'm not ready to talk to him right now.
When did the troubles start?
We actually started to fight the first week that we got married. We had a really big blowout. Slamming doors.
It's Nelson's fault, says Marlene.
He would be just mean and cruel, and then I would be mean and cruel back at him, and it would escalate.
See it that way?
Not really.
You don't say mean things?
I don't think you have it correctly right, honey.
They even argue about arguing.
She'll go after me just to continue the process and arguing.
I think you do the same thing, buddy. He goes after me
Well,
also.
honey, when I think you're wrong, I try to go.
Well,
Just keep going like
it'll
this?
keep going.
Yeah, this
And
it's
it
over.
can get worse. It can escalate into something more.
Something more, meaning?
You know, we can end up in divorce.
Therapists say in some ways when a marriage is in trouble, heading straight for divorce can be an easier way out. Fixing what's wrong, sticking it out while you try, that's harder. Marlene and Nelson, despite the fighting, do say they still want to try to make their marriage work. Do you love him?
Yes, I do.
And so, when Marlene saw this notice on 2020's website, she emailed, hoping to get help. They let us put cameras in their home so we could see what they're fighting about. During dinner, Marlene screams at Nelson about his smoking.
Nelson, nothing that you did stopped you from smoking, so you've been smoking.
Never mind, Marlene. I can't even talk to you, sweetheart.
Their children watch them fight. Does it make you worry?
It makes me worried that my parents are gonna get divorced or something.
The girls say they have one
We
wish.
should be a family.
Well, aren't you a family?
Yes, but a happy family.
Marlene and Nelson say they want that too, but they can't seem to stop fighting.
Carrying the clothes.
Marlene complains she has to do too many of the chores. She works full-time, yet it's she who shops for shoes for 8-year-old Allie.
Allie, try this size on.
It's Marlene who makes sure homework gets done, arranges play dates, and takes the kids to and from activities like 14-year-old Kayla's dance rehearsal. Nelson works full-time too. Works nights as a manager at Home Depot. When he comes home in the morning, he goes to sleep, then shuttles the kids to school, then goes to sleep, then picks them up from school. Marlene says he could do more.
You know, I do everything here. I help with the kids with the homework. I make dinner. I do everything.
If I come home and the kids are by themselves in here, the house is upside down, they're not fed, they haven't done their homework, so I'm very stressed. And I feel he's not doing his part.
Nelson, why is there beer in the refrigerator? I don't want it here.
One of her biggest complaints is Nelson drinking beer in the house.
Nelson, we're not allowed to have beer in the house, and you know it. I don't care. I don't want it in the house, and I'm gonna pour it down the drain.
Marlene's screaming at him because some members of his family are alcoholics, and she's afraid he'll become one. Nelson says he doesn't have a drinking problem. He just drinks to help himself get to sleep.
I work hard. I come home, have 1 or 2 beers in my house.
I don't want it in the house, and I'm gonna...
We asked the couple if they wanted to watch themselves fight.
No, you're not allowed to have beer in here, you know it.
Marlene said it was tough watching the tape.
It's tough because I didn't know I yelled that loud.
I can show them exactly what they're doing that's getting them in such trouble. I can show them what they need to do differently to get out of trouble.
Marriage therapist Terry Reel says he can help. Reel's a best-selling author whose latest book is How Can I Get Through to You? He runs intensive 2-day marriage workshops for desperate couples.
This is literally the last stop before the end. This is the last ditch.
At our request, he agreed to give Marlene and Nelson a 5-hour counseling session. And you can fix this in a day?
Well, no, you can't fix it in a day, but you can turn it around in a day.
Yes, you did. You started
First, he says, everyone should realize that Marlene's screaming is only part of the problem. It's Nelson's behavior that provokes her.
It has nothing to do with it. But you
It's
keep putting
easy
cigarette butts.
to see Marlene as the problem.
Nelson seems to be agreeable. He says yes.
That's the problem. He says yes, but does he mean yes? She says take out the trash. He doesn't say, I'm busy, I don't have time to take out the trash. She says, oh, sure. And then she leaves and the trash just sits there. And that's not being a nice guy, John. That's being manipulative.
Put an ashtray and dump
And it
in
makes
there.
Marlene scream more.
No, but don't go all right, just to keep me quiet, 'cause that's what
All
you're
right,
doing.
it's just that you keep whining, all
No,
right?
but I want you to stop. I keep telling you to stop, and you don't stop.
There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever for the way that she talks to her husband.
Stop throwing your cigarette butts in my grass. Why do you do that?
In your grass.
The kids seem to cringe.
Yeah, they're eating right on the table, just listening.
You keep fighting, though. I don't see you stopping it in front of the kids.
Yeah, we continue.
You should see how many cigarette butts are in the lawn.
When you see the kids on the tape, they seem to accept the fighting and seem to accept it when I ask them about it.
They argue about dumb stuff.
But when I played the tape for them, it was obvious how much it bothered Kayla.
Butts out in the lawn there to prove it. And can you do me a favor? Stop throwing your cigarette butts in my
It made me
grass.
stop the tape.
Do your parents know how you feel?
They know I cry and stuff, but it don't make me care. So I don't know.
When they fight, we usually lock ourselves in a room and
And
hide
sometimes I get worried. I feel like I go downstairs and see what's happening, and I get paranoid and see what's gonna happen.
What do you fear is going to happen?
I don't know.
They probably get divorced or something.
Yeah, I get divorced, and I don't want them to.
Marlene and Nelson say they don't want that either.
I know we could be good together if we just change. We could be good together again if we.
So why don't you just change?
Because I think we're both prideful.
Both are convinced they're right.
I'll have.
And who's right and who's wrong is not going to do it. I tell people you have a choice. You can be right or you can be married. What's more important to you? Hi. I'm Terry.
We arranged for Marlene and Nelson to sit down with marriage therapist Terry Reel for a 5-hour counseling session. Notice how far apart from each other they sit on the couch. I assumed Reel would start by talking about Marlene screaming.
Hey, this is
No, but don't go all right, just to keep me quiet, 'cause that's what you're doing.
Instead, he went to what he thought was the cause of the fight. Nelson's avoiding dealing with her by constantly saying yes.
he yeses you. Yes, dear.
Exactly. Yes.
There's two parts to yesing somebody, Nelson. You agree to do something that you don't really want to do to get them off your back. That's the first part. And then the second part is you don't do it. I call that screw you.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
How's it working in terms of making your marriage a happy marriage?
It's not really working out because I'm not really expressing myself. I'm just swallowing it, everything.
If you don't change that, you will be thrown out.
Thrown out because even though Marlene doesn't
I'm not
want a
saying
divorce,
what are you
she
going
says she'll
to.
leave him if he won't change.
I'm going to try as hard as it takes.
He wants to try, Nelson says, because he had an unhappy childhood. His father left his family, and he doesn't want that for his kids.
I just want us to be a happy family. That's all I want. I want one.
So Terry Reel tells Nelson,
That means you're going to have to find the guts to stand up to her.
and if he doesn't think he has time to pick the kids up after school, he must tell Marlene no.
What will that be like for you?
I guess a relief.
I didn't even drink all that wine I bought the other day. You and your grandmother have been drinking it.
Then the therapist confronted Marlene about her screaming.
You are being psychologically violent. It's shameless behavior. It's shameless to call him names. It's utterly shameless to call him names in front of the children.
To protect the children, Reel gave her an exercise. When she feels the rage building up, she's to take out pictures of the kids, look at them, and say,
I know that what I'm about to do will hurt you and damage your lives.
I know what I'm about to do and say is going to damage your lives.
But right now, indulging my anger is more important to me than you are.
I don't want to say it.
I know you don't want to, but I'm telling you, The next time you want to open your mouth and rag on your husband or yell, I want you to go into a bathroom or bedroom, pull out these pictures and say this.
I am so ashamed of myself
Keep going.
that I could literally destroy my children.
And her marriage.
Do you think your husband deserves to be treated this way?
No, he doesn't.
And take his hands. And
He asked Marlene to apologize.
I want to apologize to you for all the horrible things I said to you and done to you. Because I really am proud of you.
You are?
Yes, I am. Yes. He's become...
First I've heard of it.
First
he's
we heard of it, too. Real says all couples should work on searching for the positive parts of a marriage.
You've come a long way since when we met.
He must have some good qualities, right? That's why you married him.
You've taught me how to keep a family together, how hard it is, and how we're willing to try and to do all this.
Then it was Nelson's turn. The marriage counselor told him that even if he doesn't think he has a drinking problem, his drinking changes the way he behaves with Marlene.
But in this marriage, it's not doing you any good. And it just makes you more passive and more irresponsible. All right, so here's our deal. For 6 months, you stop drinking. No wine, no beer, no nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
If you can do this, I'd be so proud of you and so happy.
Look him in the eye and tell him.
You're talking to
I'd be
me,
so
not
proud
to
to
him.
you.
Go ahead,
I
go
would be
ahead.
so proud. I mean, it just makes me happy that you would do that. You know, I'm trembling.
Watching this, my reaction is, this is too pat, too easy.
I feel very good.
Why don't you tell her?
I feel very good.
Can one 5-hour session change a marriage? There was more to it, of course. When they left, there was homework. The first assignment was apologize to the kids. When Marlene and Nelson returned home, they did.
The first things that we want to say to you is that I'm going to speak for myself, is how sorry I am that I put you all through this misery.
Nelson apologized for saying yes when he didn't mean it.
It's not going to happen anymore. So I am very sorry myself also.
Okay. And I think it's going to help us become a better family. Okay?
Another instruction from Real, if a fight's brewing, take an adult timeout to cool down. That's what Nelson's doing here. Real also told the couple to meet each week to discuss how things are going. And when they talk, he said each must be allowed to speak uninterrupted. They now do it and say it's private, so we don't get to hear it.
Can I have a kid?
Has it all made a difference? 1 month later, they met again with Terry Real.
Hello. Hi.
Now they sit together on the couch, and the couple says things are remarkably better. It's clear from Marlene's smile that the changes they've made have given her new life.
All right, so let me
First,
see if I
Nelson
got
isn't
this.
drinking like he used to.
The drinking as a problem. And we're just talking about now. It could change, we say one day at a time.
I'm starting to trust him a lot more than what I did before. And that's important to me.
Marlene says Nelson's more reliable. He's keeping his word.
You're yesing her and then not doing it. Gone.
Yeah, it's almost gone.
It's pretty much
It's
gone.
pretty much gone.
Yeah.
I don't feel the pressure of everything is being done by me.
And that's a reason Marlene's screaming stopped.
You don't have to drink it, just make it and just put it there, okay? Please.
Please, she says.
Maybe I have yelled, but I haven't yelled as loudly or as violently as I did towards him.
Nelson says he feels like a new man. He's cut back on his hours at work so he can spend more time with the family. The kids have really noticed the changes. They say their whole lives are happier.
If they're gonna start an argument, my mom or dad calls out timeout.
They just go to the room and they talk it through.
Kayla, who once fell to pieces, is now smiling.
Makes me feel happy. Like, I'm not, scared when they fight. It's, quiet or whatever. It's not like, oh, it's just better.
I feel like now we're equal partners because we've made a commitment to do this.
They say they found new respect for each other. An affection they used to feel is coming back.